Hey everyone! Today we're going to dive into how fleet management software can take the, let's be honest, chaos of running a transport business and turn it into something clear and controlled.
So let's start with the big one, the most important question. But for a lot of people, it's the hardest to answer. You probably know what your revenue is, sure. But what about the real net profit after every single little expense is counted? Well, we're about to find out.
Duplicate data entry, trying to track every trip expense, chasing down delayed payments, and at the end of the day, just not being sure if you're actually profitable. If you're in this business, I'm willing to bet this sounds very, very familiar. Today, we'll see how software can fix these daily headaches.
And to make this really crystal clear, we're not going to talk in abstracts. We're going to follow the life of one single trip, from the second the booking call comes in to the truck hitting the road, all the way through to getting paid and finally calculating that all-important profit. Okay, let's start right at the beginning, the booking. This is that first critical step where things can either get streamlined for success or you get totally bogged down in paperwork.
So, instead of juggling manual entries and making a bunch of phone calls, the whole process just boils down to 3 simple steps. First, you create the consignment. That's your lorry receipt. Then, you assign a vehicle and a driver. And here's the cool part, the system automatically figures out the freight charges based on the rates you've already set for that specific client and that route. All that guesswork and manual math, gone.
And this is all about making things efficient. You know, if you've got multiple deliveries loaded onto a single truck, you can manage all of them right here, from one screen. No more jumping back and forth between different spreadsheets or paper forms. It's all in one place.
All right, so the truck is officially on the road. Now we get to the really challenging part, right? Managing all the expenses, keeping up with compliance, and handling vehicle maintenance. This is where having a streamlined system is absolutely crucial.
Think of the software as your personal assistant, one that's always on the lookout. It tracks all those critical dates for you. You'll get alerts for driver's licenses that are about to expire, for vehicle documents that need renewing, and reminders for scheduled maintenance. It helps you dodge fines, cut down on downtime, and just keep your whole fleet compliant and on the road. Okay, this is a super common point of confusion, the difference between advances. The software makes this really clear. A party advance is the money you get from the client up front. A trip advance is the money you give to your driver for their expenses, for fuel, tolls, things like that. By tracking them separately, the system makes sure your accounting is always accurate.
The truck has reached its destination. The goods are delivered. That's fantastic, but the job isn't over yet. Now we get to maybe the most important part of the whole journey, getting paid, and getting paid accurately and on time.
And what this shows is just a really clean, clear path to payment. As soon as you get that proof of delivery, the POD, you just mark it as received in the system. That simple click kicks off the billing process. From there, you can generate a GST-compliant invoice. And finally, you record the payments right against that specific invoice, including any deductions. It's a clean, traceable line from delivery to cash in the bank.
Now, this report is an incredibly powerful tool for managing your cash flow. It shows you, at a glance, which of your invoices are overdue and exactly how long they've been overdue. This lets your team know exactly who to call first and really helps tighten up your whole collection process.
So, we've booked the trip, we've managed all the expenses on the road, and we've billed the client. Now, it's the moment of truth. Let's connect all of those dots and find out what this whole operation actually earned.
This is the question, isn't it? We've tracked every little piece of data along the way. The revenue, the driver's advance, the fuel costs, everything. Now it's time for the system to give us that final answer.
And here it is. This is where you get instant clarity. The software just pulls all that data together. It subtracts all the direct expenses to give you your gross profit. Then it can even factor in your indirect expenses, like tire wear or maintenance costs that you've logged, to give you the true net profit for that one trip. No more spreadsheets, no more guesswork, just the real number.
But the insights go so much deeper than just one profit number. You start to get these key performance metrics, things like your revenue to expense ratio, your cost per kilometer, or your profit per day. This means you can make real strategic business decisions. For instance, you might suddenly discover that one model of truck has a 15% lower cost per kilometer on a specific route, telling you exactly which assets are your most efficient.
A really great system doesn't just manage one trip at a time. It helps streamline your entire business operation. So let's look at a few other really powerful features that save a ton of time and money.
The goal here is to get rid of duplicate work. For example, you can export all your financial data directly into Tally. Think of the hours that saves your accounting team. You can also integrate with your fuel providers to track expenses automatically, or streamline compliance with e-invoicing. It really creates this connected ecosystem for your whole business.
Now this is a fantastic example of deep asset management. We all know tires are a massive expense. Well, the software lets you track the entire life cycle of every single one. By calculating the cost per kilometer for each tire, you can finally make data-driven decisions about which brands actually give you the best performance and value for your money. So, we'll end with this thought. Just imagine having this level of clarity, not just for one trip, but for every trip, every vehicle, and every client, every single day. What happens when you can stop managing paperwork and start truly managing your performance? The potential for growth is just limitless.